Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday, Lesley. How are you?
I think good. It's Thursday. That means one more work day after today. I've got a big detailed design presentation tomorrow, so my brain is deep in like numbers and proposal mode, but that's good. Then it'll be done and I can ease into the weekend.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Now, I don't know if you do, it's not the subject of today's live, but I don't know if you try to do what I teach, which is be ready a week early.
I do usually, and my team was ready and my renderings are ready, and I just didn't start taking all the numbers and creating the proposal soon enough. And it's going to be fine, but I'm learning lessons as I go. I was like, this will
Okay.
be easy. It'll be like 5 minutes to pull the proposal together. Now I'm like, oh no, there's a lot that goes into this that I need a little more time for. So we're making it work though. This was my own dumb fault and I'm learning every day.
Okay, like we all are. As you know, I just sent out an email about how I dropped my marketing for a while. Like we all, this is what I always try to teach our profit insiders, right? This is your business. It's like your life. There's ups and there's downs and there's everything in between. And we just have to try to go with the flow and do the best we can. So,
Yes.
and of course, learn while we go. So today, let's talk about why you should care about SEO, search engine optimization. Now, I have repeated statistics so many times, I can't even find the piece of paper that tells me the statistics anymore, but it's something like 70% or 75% of residential homeowners, and possibly commercial, I actually don't know the answer to that, go to Google to find an interior designer. So, question number one for everyone watching. When was the last time you went to Google and put in your town or your state or your location where you want to be found and the words interior designer? So, in other words, if I was still on Long Island, I would put Long Island interior designer, or the town I lived in at the time, Huntington interior designer, and see where I come up on this listing and where I come up on the Google map. So, Lesley, tell everyone when we did a search for our elite members, how we found out that some of them don't show up very high or at all.
Man, I think everyone assumes if you build it, they will come. And if you have a website and you've got a web presence, then you're fine. And that's the first step. Absolutely. But it was shocking how many of our elite designers who have been through the year-long Profit Insiders Academy, who are in our really elevated mastermind program, didn't show up. I mean, we were going back 5, 6, 7 pages on Google and they weren't even there. And that
Now,
was shocking. That was really eye-opening.
it was, but if you notice, it's often the people who say, I get a lot of my clients through referral. I get a lot
Yes,
of my
word of mouth
clients through,
referrals. I don't need to be found on I don't need SEO. I don't need to be found online.
except then the second sentence is, why is my pipeline drying up? Right. So it's like, well, I don't need it. All my businesses come from mostly referrals in the past, which is awesome. And that's great. But we don't want to miss an opportunity to be found by new people and possibly our ideal client, because the people who are rehiring you from 2 or 3 years ago sometimes are no longer your ideal client, the way you've grown your business to be more in the luxury markets. So let's give some people advice on what to do in order to optimize, right? So SEO helps interior designers reach more of their active, ideal, potential clients, and you 100% should be part of making sure your SEO is search engine optimization is as good as it can be at this time during your career. So it helps you rank for, I don't know, visibility, but also like if you came up first, like, do you come up first now in some of your areas?
Not Atlanta, but Atlanta is a huge market. But Macon, yes, Macon, Georgia. If you type in Macon, Georgia interior designer or Macon, GA interior designer, I'm at the top, which is great.
Yes, it gives you that competitive edge because that strong SEO is what does that for you. So you should care about SEO because that's how people will find you. You should also care because once they find you on Google, what do you think people are looking for? Tell everyone if you're being searched, they find you in another way, even if they got you from a referral, they're still going to Google you. And what do you think they're going to find?
They're going to scope you out online. And there's a lot of power in Google reviews. And I know there's plenty of other review sites, and I'm not discounting those because those all play into your search engine optimization strategy.
Yes.
But if I were searching, interior designer Long Island, and a few results come up in that top part where it's like tied to the Google Maps, it's not paid, it's just location based. And there was an interior designer that had 17 5-star reviews. And then there was an interior designer that had 3 reviews and they averaged about 4 stars. I know who I'm calling first, without a doubt. And that other designer might be amazing. They might have had one bad client who has a big mouth. They might just not be pushing their online presence, but the perception matters. And if your perception is that you're not worth calling, you're not going to get calls. If someone just says, oh, well, their ratings aren't great and they barely have any reviews, I'm like, I'm going to go with this chick who clearly knows what she's doing and has been vetted by other people through online reviews. It's a no-brainer. And Google, when they see you have more Google reviews and positive Google reviews, they're going to push you higher in the search results. That also helps your SEO. Even if it's not direct words and copy on your website, all of that plays into how Google perceives you and shows you in the listing results.
Yes. So that's one way that we teach in the Profit Insider Academy, right? Reviews, how to do them properly on Google, not to get caught with a negative review, how to get backlinks on your website so that you are listed on other people's websites. That also helps with your SEO, how to blog properly to focus on your ideal client so that then when they are searching, they find you for the article of what they're trying to research, higher level luxury topics. Also, your website needs to look a certain way for a luxury client to actually want to work with you, right? So this is not a destination. It is a path.
That's a great point. This is never done. And I'm sorry to break that news to you. This is never done. It's an ongoing, ever-evolving thing. You have to be active. And it matters because ranking higher in search engine increases credibility. It shows that you are an expert, you know what you're doing. It gives you a really big competitive advantage over others who are not, as tech savvy and aren't
doing it.
And like I said, it's sort of annoying because you might both be phenomenal designers with great service and amazing interiors. But if someone's looking for you online and they see meh reviews or no reviews and no online presence, in today's day and age, it's like you don't exist.
Well, because it's not always, unfortunately, I don't care what industry you're talking about. It's not whether you're a good marketer is what's bringing you the business and the traffic.
I agree.
Number one, okay? Your design skills, believe it or not, are number 2 when you are actually starting to grow and build and expand. All right. You eventually get better. I always say, I remember the very first time I did an art job and I look back at it now when I was an art consultant and I thought, oh my goodness, that was terrible.
I have the same feel looking back. I'm like, why did anybody hire me? Oh my gosh.
Right. Like I had that definitely like everyone else, the imposter syndrome. How much should I charge? Am I charging too much? What is their perception going to be? And all that stuff. But the very first thing was they had to find me.
Yeah.
Right? They had to find me. I had to be in the places that my ideal clients were in order to be found. And then I continue to hone my skill. So if you think that your skill leads, whether you're hired or not, I'm here to tell you, you are 100% wrong. It is not your skill that decides whether you're hired all the time as a designer. It is how well you market, how well you communicate, how well you present yourself as a way that somebody wants to have you working in their home with them for sometimes a very long period of time.
Years.
Yeah. Right? So design projects can take a week, a month, or they can take years. Nobody wants a person in their house that they can't stand.
That is so true.
Okay. So what happens is they will lurk and stalk your Google, your social media, your website, and decide, does this seem like a person I could have in my house? And does it seem like a person who then will actually be organized and get the job done and be able to bring my vision into light, or create the vision that I can't seem to create myself?
Yeah.
But none of that happens if they can't find you.
Exactly what I was going to say. Like, that's it. You can't work your magic. You can't be the phenomenal designer you are if people can't find you.
Correct. Which
And
is why
is more and more important. I mean, it's like, duh. But, and of course, relationships, referrals, we're not saying don't put energy into that. That is still huge. But
huge.
like you mentioned earlier, even people that are referred to you, they're going to Google you. They're going to see how you show up online, what your online reviews are, where you've been mentioned other places. And if it's crickets, it doesn't build confidence in you or your business.
No, and it really is not just about, like, what we teach in the academy is a lot to do with every public facing asset you have. If you're going to have it, let's do it right so that it enhances your search engine optimization, your SEO, and not detract from it. And things that detract from it are things we teach in the academy, like don't go straight ChatGPT for the wording and put it on your website. We talked about that last time because
how I got burned on Google because I just put straight ChatGPT copy on my website. In case you missed that one, there's the takeaway.
Right. And if you don't update your hours, as silly as it is, but Google sends me an email every time there's a holiday going, are you going to be open for Labor Day? And I used to just delete it.
Email. And I went in and I showed that I was closed and I moved on. And that might seem like a nothing, but it matters. It shows Google that you are paying attention.
Yes.
That you are an active business who cares about its customers. And Google values that. They don't want to send people to crappy designers.
Yes. And the other thing they also value is how long people stay on your website. Mm-hmm. How do you keep people on your website longer? Blogging is one of the ways. Great pictures and describing the jobs you've done is another way. All these things and so much more that we just don't have time to mention everything we teach in the academy come into getting your SEO to work for you, right? So it's not just learning how to do it, it's actually doing it. And that's the part where a lot of people fall short. And those are the things we're starting to add into our Profit Insider Academy, more done for you things so that you guys can get the results you want even faster than people get them now. But you got to talk about Kathleen's win. We won't give her last name, but this morning we got an incredible message from another Profit Insider. So tell them what they said.
Well, she has been just killing it. She is showing up. She's doing the work. She's doing it. And it's so fun to see that growth and success. And yes. She's getting great referrals because people are finding her online. She had an amazing win this morning where she was presenting a proposal to a client, and she and I had been talking on our business helpline this week, and she was really anxious because the number to her felt very high, even though it's what the client asked for. It was within the range. Then the client added scope. So of course they have to understand that the price is going to go up.
And she used the key to figure out how to calculate it properly.
Yep. And what all the, the margin on the product should be and everything. And she went into this proposal meeting and the client just said, okay, that sounds great. I mean,
isn't that amazing?
You can't get any better than that. And she has been so, and I understand, I get the same way. I have a presentation tomorrow where I'm about to give some big numbers. And the client just like, okay, everything lines up. You are who you say you are. Your work is great. I love your service. I've been happy working with you. You were honest about it. Yeah, that's what it costs. Oh, and by the way, and can we add 2 more rooms to the scope?
Like, yeah.
Amazing. And this does all tie back to that online reputation you have, because yes. That all plays into how clients perceive you and feel about you. And of course, you have to be a great designer. You have to give exemplary service and be a great communicator. But this is, I wish it were just like, just do this one thing and you're going to be successful.
I know.
I know. I wish we could.
I know. I wish you could be that way, guys.
And you'll be fine.
But don't you love the coaches who are sitting there going, if you join my program, I guarantee you, right? There's never guarantees, but there's certainly learning and implementation. And when you do it, it's amazing how much your business and life can change. And Kathleen is another example of killing it through the Profit Insider Academy. She's showing up on video. I've been watching her Instagram. I mean, really doing everything we teach. And her SEO is coming up to par because she's doing everything we're teaching her to do.
Yes. And she's getting found more and more by great ideal clients who value investing in her services. And it's like, it's a no-brainer for them. They're like, sure, here's a check for $250,000 for all the furniture. And yeah, I'm in, let's go. Like, wonderful. And even better, Nancy, she has an amazing profit margin on this stuff. She is profitable.
Yes.
So it's all in the program. It's all in the academy. Like, how do you get there? How do you get to propose $250,000 worth of products and have a good margin in there and have the client say, let's go, buckle up, here's a check. Like, I love it.
Yes. And of course, we're talking the ideal. We know that Kathleen and everyone else has difficult clients also. But certainly everybody does. But certainly when you have that one really good one, it makes all the bad ones or the more difficult ones just sort of go into the background a little bit.
It reminds you why you do this in the first place, because this is not an easy job. It is not an easy industry. Like, you don't do this just for funsies. Like, you've got to love it. And it's easy for the joy to be sucked out. But when clients can find you, and the right clients are finding you online, and they're reaching out to you, and they're on board, and they have realistic investments and the scope, like, it's so encouraging when you're like, oh yeah, okay, I can do this. Like, this is possible. I don't have to keep struggling by myself.
Oh my God, no.
Wondering why people aren't finding me, wondering why the phone's not ringing, being nervous about revenue and being able to pay myself.
Yes. And you know what was interesting? That Kathleen actually did miss live 2 sessions, I think. And she's like, I'm catching up on the sessions. And oh my God, that was so helpful. The way you explained, blah, blah, blah. So even if she's not attending live, she's keeping up when she can, and she's implementing, right? So, all right. So our Profit Insider Academy program is a small group training program for interior designers where we teach you everything related to pricing yourself right, having the guts to present it properly, giving you the key pricing tool. So you need traffic first, which means you need to do marketing. Once you have traffic to your website, to your phone line, to your calendar, you need to know how to close them into a paid consult. From a paid consult, you need to learn how to close them into a service model that makes sense for them and makes you money and that you actually want to do. That's the key, because some people don't like certain service models. Then once you have that job, you need to know how to manage it properly within your system, which we talk a lot about: process, procedure, systems, timing, calendar maintenance, right? How many jobs can you take? When do you need to hire? When don't you need to hire? And we give you an SEO audit at some point, like about month 5, search engine optimization, a website audit, a social media audit, a website copy audit. And I feel like I'm missing one.
I know, there's a lot.
Listen, we're throwing the kitchen sink into this program because it's really important to me that every single person who joins the Profit Insider Academy for interior designers is successful. Period. End of story. Because otherwise it's my reputation, it's Lesley's reputation if you're not successful. Correct?
Oh, yeah.
We are throwing in everything, and SEO is definitely risen to the top for us because of how the statistics are showing that 75% of people go to Google and check out your public facing profiles. It takes 18 now to 20 times on average, so some less, some more, for people to see you before they want to hire you, if they need you and if they value what you do. It's complicated. It's not that easy.
And they're going to come back to Google over and over again. I do the same thing when I'm researching a company, a service provider. If you don't immediately have that click, you take your time and you're like, oh yeah, I've seen them before. They could be a good option. This is the reality now. It takes time, and people are going to keep looking around over and over and keep checking you out over and over and over again. And you need to be prepared for them to find you.
Period. End of story. Okay. So anyone who is struggling to get traffic clients, ideal clients, into their pipeline, into their calendar, so you can even have a conversation. Please fill out an application for the Profit Insider Academy. If you're getting traffic, but it's not your ideal client and you're not making enough money on each job you're selling because you're chasing jobs because you feel a little desperate to make sure there's money in the bank account. We've all been there. We all get it. Apply for the Profit Insider Academy. Let's see if we can help you. If you get really nervous making presentations, Lesley's killer at this, walking people through the nerves of not being nervous when you're actually making a presentation and the order for which you can present that will most likely guarantee you more success than presenting the wrong way.
Agreed.
Okay? Right? Besides managing your money within your account, what you should be spending on, what you should not, when you should hire, when you should not hire, and everything you need to run a profitable interior design business. That's what this academy is about. It's a one-year program. Excuse me. We have incredible success in it, so check out the testimonials. We are enrolling now, and I think only for the next week or two, I think, and then we shut it down. So if you're on the fence, you get a free 15 minutes on the calendar with me to talk about just being part of the program and whether I think it's going to work for you. If I don't think it's going to work for you, Lesley, what do I tell them?
This isn't the right fit for you.
Yeah.
And you are great at directing people when you have a resource that you know of to someplace or someone that might be a better fit. And I appreciate that about you. You're not going to say, yeah, this program is going to be great. And if it's not, it's not. And that's okay. This is a big commitment. You've got to be in it to win it for a year. And the designers that have incredible transformations over those 12 months.
I know, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. So, all right, everyone. So if you're coming in live, please go back to the beginning where we talked about why you should care about your search engine optimization, your SEO. We gave some tips on how to make it better, but really our Profit Insider Academy, we're deep diving into SEO now more than ever because 75% of people go to Google to find their interior designers. So you need to be there, you need to be there properly, and then you need to have the right things on your website and say the right things over the phone to get it done. And that's part of what we go over. So fill out an application and hopefully I'll see you on my calendar for a 15-minute application review call. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Lesley.
Thanks, Nancy. Bye, everyone.
Talk to you soon. Bye.